In the next 10 minutes, I'm going to share 10 powerful strategies to boost your SAT score by up to 100 points, almost immediately. I like to organize these strategies into 3 key categories: test-taking essentials, math power-ups, and reading and writing boosts. We use these very same strategies to help students from 22 plus countries hit their target scores and help make their next SAT hopefully their last. So stick with me until the end because each strategy builds on the others. And missing out on even one can be the difference between reaching your target score and falling short. Okay, let's dive in with test-taking essentials. Strategy number 1. The first time you go through each module, your only goal is to spend time answering questions you know. The SAT is like a game. You're the player and you want to collect as many points as possible. But how do you do that? Well, let's start with where most people go wrong. They go through each question one by one. Even when they see questions they don't really feel confident about. Next thing you know, you're stuck solving one question for 5 minutes and the clock is running down. You end up guessing anyways, and then you see all these questions you knew you could have nailed, but it's too late now. So those questions go unanswered, or you just have to spam a letter and guess. In this scenario, you lost points not just on the questions that stumped you, but also on those you actually knew how to correctly answer. But what if you went back in time and skipped that one hard question? You go through all the questions you know first, earning points each time you get one correct. Now, when the clock runs out, you can feel confident because you've secured points by focusing on the questions you were sure about. It's more effective to answer 20 questions correctly and guess on 5 difficult ones than to get 5 tough questions right and miss the opportunity to capitalize on the 20 easier ones. A good rule of thumb is to not spend over a minute on any question the first time you go through each module. Okay, but what do you do when you come across a question you don't know the first time you go through each module? Completely skip it? Well, no. This leads us to strategy number 2. You never want to leave a question blank. You don't get points off for questions you get incorrect, which means you're not penalized for guessing on the SAT. So when I say don't skip questions, I mean don't leave them totally blank. If you think the question will take you too long, guess an answer choice, flag the question, and move on. And no, you shouldn't think, oh, I'll just come back to this one, because you don't know what the rest of the questions look like and how much time you'll have left. So if you flag the question and move on without guessing, chances are you'll end up leaving that question blank. This means you have a 0% chance of earning points compared to if you just guessed, you have at least a 25% chance of earning points. And you can always increase those odds by using the process of elimination. Okay, but what if you run out of time and you literally can't read the questions? Do you just leave them all blank and focus on the questions you know? Well, no. That's why you need to go in with a consistent guess or a letter of the day. So if you find yourself with a batch of questions towards the end of the module that you know you don't even have the time to read or solve, put an answer choice down for all the questions first. But don't just guess random letters. Stick with one. Yes, the same choice. This will maximize your odds of earning points on those questions. If you have time, then you can go back and prioritize the questions you know in that batch. Okay, but what do you do if you're on the opposite side of the spectrum? You finish early and you have extra time left. Well, let's look at strategy number 3, extra time maximizer. If you have over 5 minutes left, it's fine to go back to any flagged questions and spend time on them. But if you genuinely feel you don't know how to answer them, don't spend 5 minutes on those flagged questions. Instead, go double check your answers to questions you felt more confident about. But what if you have under 5 minutes? Well, then you have to choose. Visit flagged questions or double check your answers. For most, it's better to spend any extra time just double checking the questions you feel confident about. Okay, now let's get into our math power-ups. When you see keywords like how much, how many, or what is the value of, you can use a method we call plug and check. This process involves plugging in each answer choice and checking if the solution matches the one given in the problem. Here's a bonus tip. Answer choices are listed in least to greatest order, so start with choice C. If choice C is correct, then great, you're done. But if you know the answer must be greater than C, you know choice D is correct. And if you know the answer must be less than C, then you know either choice A or B is correct. Now, you can also use strategy number 5. Make up your own solution. Many times, it's easier to plug in your own values for variables such as A or X than to solve problems the traditional way. For example, if X is any negative number, which of the following must be positive? Step 1, make up your own number. number. Let's choose a negative number such as -4. Plug in -4 for x into each expression. So as you can see, choice D is correct, as it is the only positive solution. See how we made up our own solution to solve the problem? You can do the exact same on test day. Our last math strategy is to really master Desmos, but it's not about knowing how to use Desmos, it's about knowing when to use it. You can use it to quickly solve certain questions and double check your answers. This video would be far too long if we tried to show you every single Desmos trick, but just remember, it's about knowing when to use Desmos, not just how to use it. So on to the reading and writing boosts. Strategy number 7, work backwards. Sounds weird, but we recommend starting with the writing questions, around question 15. The majority of these are those grammar questions that you should be able to fly through, granted you know your grammar rules. The goal is to complete these questions in 10 to 12 minutes and have about 22 minutes for the reading questions. Now, the last questions in the reading and writing module are the student note questions, which look like this. Which brings us to strategy number 8, student note questions. For these questions, skip reading the notes initially. First, read the question and identify what the student wants. Then go through each answer choice and ask yourself this: does this choice help the student? And then insert whatever their goal is. Eliminate any choices that do not help the student accomplish their goal. You can always go back and read the notes if needed. Speaking of eliminating incorrect answers, strategy number 9 is to watch out for these 5 red flag answer choices. Number 1, beyond reach. These are answer choices that are too narrow or too broad. Number 2, opposites. These are the direct opposite of the correct answer. Number 3, extreme words. These contain strong language that cannot be supported by just the passage alone, so these are words like always, never, none, and all. Number 4, true but not correct. This choice is factually true, but it does not answer the question asked. Most kids fall for this one. Number 5, twist. This choice relates to the passage, but twists the author's words or their main message. So if you see any of these 5 red flags, there's a good chance that you can eliminate that choice. That brings us to strategy number 10. Eliminate, don't choose. On the reading section, you don't want to choose the right answers because truth is, they all kind of look right. Instead, you want to eliminate incorrect answers based off evidence in the text. So when you're using the process of elimination, think, what's wrong with this answer, not is this answer right? And then ask yourself, what piece of evidence in the text supports this answer? Finally, double check your answer by asking yourself, is this choice true, and does it actually answer the question asked? Remember, just because an answer choice is true doesn't mean it's correct. So those are the 10 strategies you can implement today to increase your score. But here's the thing, strategies are like adding fuel to a fire. Powerful, but only when there's a spark. They're really just the tip of the iceberg. Without a strong foundation, that fuel won't take you very far. So to get a top score, you need more than just strategies. And this is why strategies are only one part of our 9-step process. To truly hit your target score, you need a comprehensive approach, which is exactly why we built Dream Score University, the SAT prep program designed to turn your target score into a reality and just give you the complete roadmap to success. Inside, we'll teach you all the core concepts you can expect to see on test day, how to recognize common SAT patterns, and more key strategies to maximize your score. Right now, the program is not only on sale, but there's also a limited time bonus we're throwing in. So if you're ready to hit your target score, check it out at www.futureadmin.com or just click the link below.